Yeah. Turn the mics up. We dropping exclusive heat today. BX Sports Jedi Kev. House Knuckler Brew, let's go. The force is strong. The ring is locked. Yeah. Welcome to the Sports Jedi Network, check the feed. We got the exclusive content that you elite fans need. Kevin Haas on the boards, cutting through the noise like a saber, bringing you the fastest rising star, doing ultimate labor. Direct from TNA Wrestling, yeah, he's ready to soar. He's stepping to the mic and he's bringing the war. Leon Slater in the house, ready to break down the script. Ahead of a massive month where the whole game gets flipped. Exclusive interview, we setting it ablaze. Leon Slater with the Jedi, leaving crowds in a daze. Denver, Colorado, get ready for the fight. National Western Center with back-to-back nights. June 6th and June 7th, a mile-high heat. TNA Wrestling, never tasting defeat. Yeah, we riding this wave to Slammiversary. Lock it in, turn it up, this is wrestling history. Listen close, Denver, the action is coming fast. 2 nights of pure chaos, a legendary broadcast. Leon's mapping out the road to the biggest summer stage, where the X Division future is written on the page. We talking career defining, hanging from the sky, ultimate X match. You gotta fly high to survive, high risk, high reward, no fear in his eyes. Leon's chasing the gold, claiming the ultimate prize. He's got a message for the fans, loud and clear through the static. When he steps inside that ring, it's purely cinematic. Exclusive interview, we setting it ablaze. Leon Slater with the Jedi, leaving crowds in the daze. Denver, Colorado, get ready for the fight. National Western Center, we're back-to-back nights. June 6th and June 7th, a mile-high heat. TNA Wrestling, never tasting defeat. Yeah, we riding this wave to Slammiversary. Lock it in, turn it up, this is wrestling history. Don't wait around, the clock is ticking down. Go to TNRWrestling.com, grab your tickets for the town. Every single Thursday, watch our Impact take the crown. AMC and AMC, plus in the US, we holding it down. Sportsnet 360 up north for Canada's elite. And TNA plus worldwide, making the global loop complete. The Jedi crew just brought the fire to your screen. Leon Slater, X Division, the hungriest you've seen. Career change opportunity, the summer's getting hot. Sports Jedi Network, we own the top spot.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Sports Jedi Network channel. We have a special guest here, the youngest in charge, TNA's own Leon Slater. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Slater, on our program today.
Of course, man. I'm glad to be chatting with you guys. I'm excited.
I'm also excited, man. I've been following your career. To me, this is a privilege, an honor, I'm just going to have fun with this. My first question to you, going into this month of TNA in Denver, Slammiversary, can you arguably say this is one of the biggest months in your TNA career?
100%, man. I think especially off the back of just losing the X Division title and being so close to tying the longest ever X Division championship reign. I've got a whole new hunger in me, man. So I'm coming into Denver with a whole different mindset. I'm coming into Slammiversary with a whole new mindset. I'm out for revenge. I'm out for gold. I'm out for silver. I'm out for it all, man. The world is mine and I'm ready to take it.
Good, us.
All right. Is there anything that you're going to expect from the Denver crowd or the Colorado wrestling fans that you're looking forward to?
You know what? I actually don't know a whole lot about Colorado. This is going to be my first time there this weekend. So I'm coming in expecting the unexpected. I'm expecting a hot crowd, as it always is with TNA. I'm expecting a full crowd, as it always is with TNA. But I'm excited to see the little Denver flavor, the little Colorado flavor. Every town's a little bit different. I'm excited to see what Denver brings this weekend.
All right. That's great. Thank you.
My question, follow up on that Denver. Now, it has its reputation of the high altitude and all then you're such a high flyer and you move in such a quick dynamic pace. Have you prepared for that condition wise, or is this something you're going to experiment for the first time? I'm not too sure if you wrestled in Mexico with that highest altitude as well.
So, you know what? It's funny you say that because I did wrestle in Tijuana once. I'm not sure how high that up is in Mexico or the geography of it. But it was a little different, man. This was a couple years ago, and when I was a little bit younger, but it was difficult. So heading into Denver, you know, I've heard I wouldn't say I'm a big basketball fan, but I definitely like to keep up with it. You know what I mean? So I always remember like watching the playoffs, and every time the Nuggets would play at home, he'd be like, "Oh man, the altitude is really killing these guys." Blah 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 blah. So you know, I've definitely put some thought and I did some extra training in. I've been on the treadmill with the breathing restrictor mask and stuff like that. But you know, I'm used to being high in the air, bro. I'm already up there most of the time, so I'm used to these higher altitudes. So I'm hoping it's not going to be too much of a problem. But if it does become one, I'm more than ready for it.
All right, Leon. For the fans who may be discovering you for the first time, how would you describe Leon Slater and what you bring to TNA Wrestling?
Man, that's a tricky question. How would I describe Leon Slater? I don't think there's any other wrestler in the world like me. I think there's people you can compare me to, and I'd still say I'm completely different. There's nowhere that comes where I come from. There's no one that talks like I talk. There's no one that walks the walk like I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the most exciting young talents in the game. I'm one of the most exciting talents in the game, full stop, regardless of age. And it's a bonus that I'm 21 years old, and you're going to get to watch me for the next 20 or 30 years. So that's how I would describe Leon Slater in TNA. That's for sure.
There you go, Leon. Let them know.
Yes, sir. Come on, bro. You already know.
There you go. I love it. Leon, speaking of that, you're 21 years old. I had the honor, and my partner, we had the privilege of being traveling from Orlando, Florida to New York City last year at the Slammiversary at the UBS Arena. You, Santana, the whole TNA locker room gave us a moment. And Slammiversary is coming up again. I know that you captured that gold with Moose. Phenomenal, man. I'm getting goosebumps just speaking about it. Now, having this conversation with you, X Division, the Ultimate X, what is in store for us, man? I want to go. But I want my audience to go and purchase those tickets that are on sale now. Tell us what could we expect? A little bit of a peek.
So the Ultimate X is notorious for having some of the wildest and crazy moments, not just in TNA wrestling history, but in pro wrestling history. If you search up on any type of YouTube, Google, the craziest moves, the craziest stunts in pro wrestling history, the Ultimate X is going to be on 9 out of 10 of those clips. You know what I mean? Especially if you look at the Ultimate X last year, I'm giving myself a little pat on the back. I like to see I created a little bit of a moment myself there. I broke the internet there a little bit when I did my Swanton 450 off the top of the structure itself, which had never, ever been done before. And I think knowing the history and knowing the reputation that the Ultimate X has, everyone in the match, and there's only 2 of us announced so far. It's me and it's Cedric. I already know what to expect. This is Cedric's first one. And I assume the other 4 competitors are going to come in with the same mindset as us. We know the history that this match has, and we are always trying to top that history and prove why this era of TNA is the best era of TNA to ever exist, right? So I would expect the unexpected, and I would expect a roller coaster of a time.
All right, Leon, I'm pretty new to TNA myself. This is going to be my first Ultimate X match. I'm going to go back and review some, but this is going to be my first one live. And here's my question. What makes Ultimate X so dangerous compared to a traditional ladder match?
So what makes Ultimate X way more dangerous is the gap between the X and the ring. Obviously, in a typical ladder match, you have the title or the briefcase or whatever it may be stranded high above the ring, just like the X. But the difference here is you have no ladder to climb up. Once you're on those cables, there is nothing between you and the ring apart from your opponents. And you already know what they're trying to do. They're trying to pull you down. They're trying to slam you. They're trying to pull you down and throw you to the outside. So that is the difference. Although we're missing out on the ladders and getting hit in the face with a bunch of metal, there is a 10, 15, sometimes 20-foot drop. The structure changes every time, I swear. Like, I'd seen a bunch of clips. I did my research, and the structure, before I got to my first one last year, I was like, okay, that's maybe like 10, 12 feet. I can jump off of that. I got there in person, bro. That would look like 50 feet in the air. You know what I'm saying? So this structure changes all the time. And that's the scary thing about it, man. And especially as someone that's kind of had experience in this match prior, I know the dangers of it coming in. And someone that's had ladder match experience prior as well, I know the difference. And the difference is that big, I was about to curse that big freaking drop. That's the difference.
That's quite a vivid description. I can't wait to see it, man.
Hell yeah.
Great way to describe that, man.
Mike, my next question, it's about, you mentioned you're 21 years old and all the accomplishments you already have accomplished. I mean, my goodness, you're just getting started. How do you deal with that kind of expectation pressures, being that there's such TNA legends, shoes with Austin Aries there with that X division, and you ain't even touched the other divisions yet. So how do you work and disconnect? Tell us a little bit, a peek behind the curtain. Who is Leon Slater behind the curtain? You know, what's your indulgements, your activities, bowling, etc.
So for me, pressure I've always viewed as a privilege. You know what I mean? Not everyone gets to have pressure put on their shoulders. I remember being in a position when I was younger and I was training. So I've been training since I was 9 years old, and I've always wanted to be in this position. And I remember seeing all the guys in TNA killing it, seeing all the guys on the British independent scene killing it, and I was like, man, I wish I could be in that position. So now I'm in that position where I do have that pressure. I very much realize that there's thousands of people that would kill to be in my position now, so it'd be selfish of me to complain. You know what I mean? On top of that, I've also wanted to be a wrestler my entire life. There's not a single moment of my time on this planet that my entire day, my entire week, my entire month, my entire year hasn't been structured around becoming the best wrestler to ever do it. If it doesn't involve that, it doesn't involve me. You know what I'm saying? So I've always tried to visualize and manifest being in the position I am now. So now that these pressures are coming onto my shoulders, it's not something new. It's something I've known I'm going to have to deal with since I came out of the womb. You know what I'm saying? So now I feel like I'm already prepared for it. I've got a great team around me. My family's super supportive. And I feel like I'm prepared for everything that's coming my way. You know what I mean? And like you mentioned, hobbies and outside activities. That's another thing that I love about TNA. I'm still living at home here in Bradford. You know what I mean? So every couple of weeks after we're done taping, I get to come home, see my mom, my sister, my girlfriend, the family. And spending time with them is really what keeps me sane. You know what I mean? Because if wrestling's not going so well, like even just recently is a perfect example, right? I just lost my X Division title on the brink of doing something that was so special and I cared about so much. I think if I didn't have that kind of family unit and that team behind me that I do, I don't know what type of position I'd be in. But spending time with these folks at home, spending time with my friends, going out bowling is something I really enjoy. I love music. I'm a big video game guy. I've been on that new James Bond game recently. So all of that stuff is helping me balance out when wrestling isn't going so well, you know?
Gotcha.
I heard good things about that.
It's fantastic. The new James Bond game is fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Leon, you've had a lot of incredible matches, winning against a bunch of competitors in TNA. But here's the question: who in TNA pushes you to elevate your game every time you step into the ring?
Man, that's a super interesting question. I think, okay, so I'm gonna give you two different answers. I think in the ring, it's probably Cedric Alexander. I think the rivalry that we've had over my time as X Division champion, he's been the constant thread through it all and always kind of the measuring stick. I know no matter who I defeat, no matter who I knock down, Cedric is always going to be waiting on the other side of it. You know what I mean? And obviously he finally managed to knock me off of my mountain, and I'm coming straight back to knock him off of the mountain that he's on right now. A different answer is someone that I haven't got to mix it up with a lot in the ring, but is definitely someone that pushes me to be better in all aspects, not just in the ring, not just in the gym, in promos, in everything, is Mustafa Ali. I believe he is probably the most well-rounded superstar we have on the roster in terms of killer matches, killer promos, killer physique. He has it all, you know what I mean? So he is definitely someone that is sort of a measuring stick for me, someone that I'm always looking up to. Okay, what's Ali doing? What's he doing that I'm not? What can I be doing that he's not? You know what I mean? And he's someone that I'm always chasing, that's for sure.
Gotcha. Great answer. I believe our viewers are going to really love what you just put down there.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, like I mentioned again, seeing you there in Slammiversary, seeing AJ Styles come out. What a year you had in 2025. Seeing AJ Styles pretty much patching the torch in that next division yourself. And then to top off the year, you're being showcased in the ring with Javon in John Cena's final match. Talk to us about that whole surreal moment in the whole 2025. I mean, it feels like you must have said, pinch me because I'm dreaming.
It was unbelievable, man. It really was. I think if you ask any wrestler, they have special periods in their career that they will never forget. And from the summer of 2025 till maybe like February of this year, the run I was on was just incredible. You know what I mean? It was strength to strength, crazy moment to crazy moment. Like something had happened, like the AJ moment at Slammiversary. I was like, man, it can't get better than this. There's no way it gets better than this. couple months down the line, I'm defending against Myron Reed in the main event of a TNA pay-per-view.
That was great.
The last day of me being 20 years old, I go, man, it can't get better than this. The following Tuesday, I debut in NXT. I go, man, it can't get better than this. I just made my WWE debut. Then every day that NXT happens, me and Javon go on fire at Bound for Glory. Man, it can't get better than this. Then I get told I'm going to be on a NXT PLE. I go, man, it can't get better than this. Then I'm on another one. Then I'm on another one. Then I'm in Madison Square Garden. Then I'm wrestling with Javon at John Cena's last match. I go, man, it can't get better than this. Then I'm wrestling for the NXT title at the beginning of this year against Obafemi. Man, it can't get better than this. Then I'm wrestling Carmelo Hayes for the US title in my home country in England on SmackDown. Man, it can't get better than this. And I'm still on that hype train now. You know what I mean? Of course, we had a little dip with me losing the title, but I plan to bring it all the way back up on June 28th, the Slammiversary.
Love it.
All right. Well, Leon, I'm gonna put you on the spot with this question here.
Here we go.
I know you keep telling us about how you just lost the X Division title. Out of your long title reign that you had, could you give us maybe 2 or 3 of your favorite moments throughout that title reign?
Okay, here we go. I would say moment number 1 is the start of not even the whole match, the beginning of me and Javon. We didn't touch, we didn't move a muscle. We stood there and people stood up and we got a standing ovation before we even touched. And I think that was a testament to the work that he was doing at NXT and a testament to the work that I was doing in TNA. So I think that would definitely be number 1. I think number 2 for me would probably be the match itself against Myron Reed. That was the first time that I'd ever main evented a TNA pay-per-view in a singles match. So not only to have the killer match against someone I'd looked up to for a while, like I used to watch Myron's highlights on the way to training, you know what I mean? So not only to have a match against him, but for the company to trust us to go and deliver in the main event of a TNA PLE is something super, super special to get that trust from the higher ups, you know what I mean? And a third moment is probably, man, what was cooler? I'm tossing and turning between John Cena's last match and being on that sort of stage as the X Division champion and doing SmackDown in my home country as the X Division champion. You know what I mean? So that's like 3A and 3B for me. You know what I mean? Both super special moments. Obviously, the John Cena's final show is there's one of one. You know what I mean? Like I remember saying this to my friends. Like obviously WrestleMania and the big events like that, they're huge and they're monumental, but they happen every year. There's only one ever John Cena's last show. So to be on that while not even working for the company is something super, super special. But also something super special is being in my home country with my home fans and he's one of our own chance in a US title match on SmackDown against one of the best in the world in Carmelo Hayes, you know what I mean? So it really is a tie for 3A and 3B between those two moments. But the standing ovation with Javon, the match against Myron, and 3A, 3B, which I've just discussed.
The fact that you can just sum up such a sensational title reign like that just shows how much you've been doing with this company.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
All right, fine. I got 2 more questions, and because thank you so much for the time. Mike, I want to hear is looking ahead for the rest of the 2026. What is some of the goals that you have? Obviously, we understand you want to get that X Division champion, but is there other goals for Leon Slater?
1,000,000%, man. I'm always looking for bigger and better. You know what I mean? I think the X Division championship reign I think I did about all I could in the X Division. You know what I mean? So again, I don't want to reveal too much of the scheme, reveal too much of the plan here, but everybody knows about that option C, and who knows when I win that X Division championship back at Slammiversary, who knows what might get cashed in, what might get cashed out, who knows what the plan is from there. But the plan for 2026, man, is world domination. You know what I mean? It's the same plan that it's always been. The world is mine, and I'm more than ready to take it.
All right, we'll see.
All right,
we'll see.
All right, Leon, I got one last question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been watching TNA since the AMC premiere, and I've been telling people to come tune in and watch you. I feel like you're one of the big faces of TNA and maybe one of the cornerstones or pillars of TNA. But here's my question. Why should every wrestling fan tune in to TNA Wrestling right now, coming from a big face of TNA?
I think TNA Wrestling is the best variety show in the whole of professional wrestling right now. I think you get a little bit of everything. If you like blood and you like violence, we have people like Steve Macklin and Santana and Sami Callihan that are going to put on these crazy, wild, hardcore matches. Like, for example, we have the Righteous and the Hardys in I forget what they call it, some Garden of Madness, which has got barbed wire all over the ropes and some craziness like that. We've got that coming up. We've got legends. Speaking of Matt and Jeff, we have legends, Matt and Jeff Hardy. We have Nick Nemeth. We have all of these guys you've grown up watching. And we have a mix of young talent like myself, hungry people like Mike Santana, like Zaya Brookside, like Harley Hudson. You know what I'm saying? So we have so many talent with different talents across the board that are delivering all sorts of different stuff, whether it's the X division, the world title division, the tag divisions, the knockouts divisions, the knockouts tag divisions, the international championship division. You know what I mean? We have all of these different scenes that provide something so different across the hour or two that we're on your TV on a Thursday night. You know what I mean? So if you want to have some fun with the best variety show in professional wrestling, TNA Wrestling is where it's at.
Everybody that's the youngest in charge putting over TNA Wrestling, please give us a good watch.
100%, man. Thank you, boys.
And I converted him as a TNA because we've been watching you guys there each and every Thursday night from many years here on the Sports Jedi Network. My final question, and we thank you again, is how important is these veterans, like you mentioned, the Hardys, Nemeth, and also the leadership behind the scenes, like a Carlos Silva and a Ross Foreman and Tommy Dreamer? How important are those to your career?
They're essential, man. I wouldn't be where I am without them. You know what I mean? I feel like as a young wrestler, you are, how do I want to word this? You're only as good as the people you're around. You know what I mean? You never want to be the big fish in the small pond. You always want to be learning. You always want to be in a room with someone better than you. And I feel like this is just a thing in life, right? Like, you never want to be the smartest person in the room. You always want to be learning off someone. So for me to walk in to TNA as a 18-year-old British indie kid and get to learn off of Nick Nemeth and get to learn off of Matt and Jeff and get to learn off of people that have been on TV as long as I've been alive, people like Brian Myers, JDC, Moose that's been with us now for like 10 years, Eddie Edwards, who's been everywhere and done everything in professional wrestling. For me to get to mix it up with these guys that I'd never really get the chance to unless I was in TNA has been invaluable. You know what I mean? And as far as the management goes behind the scenes, I can't say enough good things about Tommy Dreamer, about Delirious, about Carlos Silva. The whole team has looked after me. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was nothing but a British indie kid that could do a couple of cool moves when I first came here, and they have turned me into the man you see before you right now. You know what I mean? So I can't say enough good things about the TNA locker room. I can't say enough good things about TNA management. I just can't say enough good things about TNA because it truly has changed my life, and I can't wait to see what we do in 2026.
And we will be watching. We will ask you to please buy tickets for Denver Slammiversary, Bound for Glory in Tampa. This gentleman here possibly going to be there. It's going to be there in Tampa to see the guys in TNA Total Nonstop Action each and every Thursday night at AMC. We appreciate the one and only, the youngest in charge, Leon Slater, for joining us here on the Sports Jedi Network. May the sports be with you. Thank you so much again.
Yes, been a pleasure, boys. Thank you so much.